Hey guys, I started playing Crusade. The card game's been around for a while now. Just started playing it actually. I started with Magi. Then when I went to Japan, there was back some comments, and I was interested in playing, and I made a deck. But this time, basically, when I got back, I ordered booster boxes for Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusade, and this is the deck I made. It's a Jotaro main deck. I'm just gonna talk about the deck a bit. So, okay, let's pick up the deck. So first we have the three earliest drop Jotaros. They are I could play them at 4 drops. When I on play, it's an auto effect. I get to salvage a Star Platinum command from my trash and add it to my hand. So yeah, that's essentially what they do. So that's all they do actually. Next, I have 3 resupply, so restanders, Jotaro. They also 4 drop. So during my return step, I get to select up from 1 to 2 stand users, and I stand them. Yes, I stand users. So yeah, 3 of that. Next, we have the boss of the deck, Big Jotaro. Jotaro Yare Yare Daze. So his effect is quite simple. He's a 6-drop with weapon change, armor change, where if I'm at 5G with 2 blue, I could, so I have a Jotaro on the field already. At the beginning of a step, I could switch out this and play it from my hand like that. So that's essentially how weapon change works. And yeah, and as for Jotaro Yare Yare Daze, his effect is anytime when this card or a Star Platinum is destroyed, I can pay 2 and negate destruction. So, and it's a spammable, it's a reusable effect. Use it multiple times per turn. So that's the 9 Jotaros I run in the deck. Next, I have Jotaro's grandpa, Joseph. So we have 3 of the on-play salvage. It's also a 4-drop. You'll see why I run a lot of salvage later. When you play Jojo, the new Stardust Crusade, there's a lot of commands. You run them pretty fast, and you need to reuse them too. So these are good cards. This is just an alternate art. You get 1 per booster, and the same for the Jotaro one. Okay, and I run 1 of the old version of Joseph Joestar, not the old version, but the one that came with the first booster. This card's effect is pretty straightforward too. On play, draw a card. When I play this card from my hand, I draw a card. It's an auto, it has Link, and has Ace 1. Don't know why it's Ace 1, I feel like it's a waste of Ace 1, but all the new Josephs, they don't have Link, and the weaker Josephs, like the 4 ones, they don't have Ace either. So technically, if I play this first, I can switch out like this. This will come back to my hand. Or when I play this first, next turn I play this, the Link will cause this to bounce back to my hand. And vice versa, when I play this come back to my hand and I'll draw a card. And yeah, that's how this works. This is good card, but when you have too many of them, let's only run 1. If you have like 2 in your hand, then it definitely becomes dead. Late game, it's pretty meh situational. And as for the boss Joseph, I have 3 boss Josephs. It's Joseph Joestar. Basically, what it does is when this card clashes, +3 to this team, his team, and -3 to his opponent's team's modifier. So it doesn't target because it targets team. So it'll go through. So essentially, this card, if I just bring up by himself, he's 7, and guarding with, I guess, 8. You can say 7, 8. And the thing about him, what makes him so good, is I can weapon change him out anytime. So there's no requirements of when. So if I could bring out any Josephs at 4 or even earlier, I can change it out immediately at the beginning of attacker, defender, or any of the beginning step. So yeah, it's definitely a strong card, and it's Ace 2 with a battle prep and assault, which is a penetrate essentially. Okay, so that's the Joseph, and I run one of this, the Joseph and Caesar. So when Joseph and Caesar, so essentially when this card doesn't have Ace or anything really, it just has battle prep and link. But because its name is different, it has Joseph and Caesar. This one is Joseph Joestar. So when I play this, nothing will happen in this card, but vice versa. When I play this on the field, I could actually switch it out like this, and this would come to my hand. This card's effects, when I play it, I can remove from play a Joseph or a Caesar on my field, and I could minus 5/5/5 to an opponent's unit. So it's actually very strong, and I often do have Joseph on the field. If I could minus 5/5/5 an opponent's unit, making them lose it, it's good there too. And if not, it's a strong card on its own, being at 6/1/6 with no ace and name problems. Okay, and moving on to personal favorite, Tarkus. So I run 2 of that. So a lot of time when you play a Joseph deck with Jotaro, your numbers are big. You put in I guess usually, if you don't Tarkus not on the field, you would have a Joseph behind the Jotaro, and you'd be hitting with 10 with assault. And if your opponent fights you, it'd be 13 with assault, just with the units. So nothing else, nothing fancy. And a lot of times your opponent won't fight you because, like I said, it's a lot of effects happen on clashing, and your opponent rather just take at most 10. So with Tarkus on the field, Tarkus effect is when this card is it's a battle effect. Put this card in the battle area back to assign area. Choose an opponent's unit and move it up to the same area where this used to be. So let's say, for example, right here it's in the back. I shove it up to the left side. I pull him back. I choose an opponent's unit, and they have to go where he used to be. So I force them to fight essentially. So I would usually just have it like that. Stack them out, a squad like this, and they're like, okay, 7 with trample. They're not gonna fight me. Pull this back, pull this up, and they fight me. Essentially, they can't beat me, they lose a card, and they take the difference in damage due to the penetrate. Yeah, that's how Tarkus works. So Tarkus is a beautiful card. I mean, the effect. And it's only Ace 1. The only problem is he does not have battle prep, so I can't usually use him the turn I play him. I have to get another way to stand him, which I will show you how I usually do. Okay, so I have 2 each come in. It's a draw card, 5 costs. Play it, draw 2 from deck essentially. So in this deck, as you can see, these are all the units compared to the other half of the deck, which is actually the smaller half, which means I need to run through the deck really fast to set up actually. I need to grab the main cards very fast, because not a lot of options, very straightforward, but gotta move fast into it. So a lot of time I find myself having a lot of cards in my hand, and sometimes not even the right cards. So yeah, this is 2 draw card. Then we move into Star Platinum. So this is the best Star Platinum card actually, the most aggressive one. I can play it anytime. It's X, and effect is during my turn, heal X. So if I played at 4, I can heal 4 back to the deck. And once the effect resolves, it becomes a set underneath any card name with Jotaro in it. So like that. So I use it, effect resolves, moves to trash, and I can set it on Jotaro like that. And the effect it has when it's set is actually written in bold down here. I can only activate at 5 though. Select a Star Platinum and destroy it, and destroy a unit that's clashing with this card. So that's how that was the battle effect, essentially. And so it kind of works like this, where I would target him, destroy himself, destroy an opponent's unit, and use his effect to get its destruction, and I could do it again. So essentially it's pay to destroy something that's clashing with the Jotaro. So yeah, I have 2 of that right now. I only managed to pull 2. I ordered a 3rd one. I really do need a 3rd one. It's a really strong card. Okay, so now I just put that here. Jotaro goes here, and Next, I pulled actually 4 of this. It's another Star Platinum, Ore wa Shiranzo. Basically, this card's effect is a battle effect. Select a rested card on my field and stand it. So usually, if the most optimal play I can do is I can attack with a unit I played the turn, or I can play the Tarkus stands an attacker phase, and I could use Tarkus essentially the turn I played it, and it would set onto a Jotaro. And the set effect for Ore wa Mo Shiranzo is pay 1. When this card is if this card is clashing, the units with this card set underneath it gains 4/4/4. So essentially, use effect, go like this, pull back, fight me, use effect, pay 1. Jotaro becomes 11/4/10 with trample. So essentially, it's a lot of power. And as for the way these sets goes, if it's a character set, you can only have 1 character on a unit, but because these are commands, you can have unlimited. So optimally, if I had 3 of these, because the card limit is 3, I can plus 12 onto Jotaro, being 19 of trample, which is big numbers, but usually not necessary. So yeah, 3 of that. Moving on. Next, we have the next best card. Actually, it's Star Platinum. Essentially, it's another battle command where I select one of my units. Until the end of the step, it cannot be targeted by an opponent's effect. And it does not have a set effect. So once it becomes a set, I guess at best it is food for Aurora. So yeah, it's a strong card. It's 4 to play, 4 to cast, you can say. Next, I have this one right here. Fortunately, I don't have the card. It's a promo card, actually. You get it by entering the Stardust Crusade tournament, I believe, in Japan. I'm no longer in Japan, so I couldn't get my hands on this. The effect is it's an anytime effect. All my units during this turn, their attacks cannot be negated by my opponent's effect. And the set effect is quite interesting, is destroy this card, and I draw 2. It's a battle effect though. So again, I could do it this, so activate this, so this turn all my units cannot have their effects negated, set on, destroy this during battle, draw 2, I could use the effect to negate, and I could repeat the process the next turn, during my opponent's turn, and just keep drawing off this. So it's a 3 to cast, so it's another draw engine card. I just added this proxy in, actually. It's a good card. And next we have Papruhameto. So this is a draw engine where during my main phase, play it, draw 2. When it becomes a set, I can negate the target. I can negate a target effect to Joseph, essentially. So my Joseph can't be targeted until the end of the cut. So it's a chain on effect. It's not a step or a phase. It's pretty as a anti-target, it's pretty restricted, but it's a good card. You'll see why in a second. So I got 3 of this. It's a draw engine and a protection card. Very powerful. Next I have this. This card's a really good card too. The effect, during my turn, when I play it, I get to check the top deck of my opponent, check my opponent's top deck and leave it there or put it to the bottom. That's good and all, but a lot of times I find myself just putting this to my G, so my mana, and using its heavy bracket effect, essentially set effect, pay 3, draw 1 during my assigned step, which is gets me going as well. You notice I have a lot of draw cards. Another Purple Hermits, this effect is it's a command negator. Negate a command that does not have the trait stand. It doesn't have a set effect. Essentially, is a bad card if you play against mirror matches, but that's probably not gonna happen because I'm the only Jojo player. Okay, and the last Purple Hermit I have is this card right here. It's kind of hard to tell it's Purple Hermit because always this person here. I get that a lot too from my friends. So it's an anytime effect. When I play this command, my opponent essentially plays with their hand revealed during this turn. can play anytime. I can play it on their turn, play it on my turn. And the set effect is the good thing. So my opponent during this turn, the next time they target, they have to target this set group when possible. So if there's a Joseph, use effect, resolve, set underneath Joseph. During this turn, my opponent has to target Joseph. And if I have, let's say, this purple hermit right here, I can negate the target. So essentially my opponent did not target Joseph, and next time they'll have to target Joseph again. So Joseph becomes the tanking sponge, and Jotaro stays invincible in Oda way. So yeah, that's the purple hermits. Okay, so next we have the dark cards. Character removal. So Ebony debut. It's just during my opponent's turn, destroy an opponent's character. So I run 3 of that. I don't run his stand user. I just use it for the character removal, and because it's a black card, it's food for the booster Jotaro. And next we have a very good card here as well. You would use in any deck. Unfortunately, black color for the new Jojo is pretty bad. But this card, there's just some cards that are really good. Like, of course, character removal and this one. The effect doesn't really matter actually. The effect is, I'll tell you anyways. During defender step, all my opponent's unit in the battle area will minus 2/2/2. So it works. I mean, it's 5 to play, but I usually don't if I have to rely on it. It's probably pretty dangerous already. The effect I do use is the heavy bracket effect, which is, of course, at the bottom. During this phase, until the end of the phase, this card will create a purple G, a purple mana. So I mean, if this card is a G, so I have 1 right now, and use this effect, I'll be at 2. So ultimately, if I had 2, like that, I would be at 4G. Of course, with this being in here, I won't be able to play anything but this Jotaro here, or any of my purple Josephs, which is allowing me to change into this one. So if I can bring this out at 2G, it's very powerful indeed. But doing this will lock all my blue cards until I can actually get blue in. So, but aside from that, this is really the mana ramp for me. It's a good card. Put that here. And as for the character, they don't run a lot. They're just a straight up support. This card is definitely a very good card. Don't really like it, but it's a very good card. It's a one-shot. During any time, I can tap him, mill up to 3 cards in my deck, and select a unit that's from the milled pile and add it to my hand. So it's a very powerful card actually. It lets me mill stuff. So I mean, if I mill any of the commands that you saw earlier, so if I mill something like this, 2 Star Platinum and 1 of this, so that's actually really good. And I would grab this here, play it, and I would salvage either one, something like that. So I mean, milling is not a problem because for the most part, a good chunk of my deck can be salvaged off the Purple Hermits and Star Platinum. So this is definitely a good card. If I ran 3, it might be a little tight, a little hard to play because I do dead into it very seldom, but it happens. So 2, that's 1. And compared to the others, it's just 1. Here we have Speedwagon. His effect is during the defender step. I can select up to 2 of my units and stand them. So it's a restander, resupplier. Good card. And oh, I think my sister's back from school. And lastly, I have Tompeti. When I play him, I can select a Hamon user in my deck and pay the cost of entry and play it from my deck and rest it. So essentially, I can play any of my Josephs or right here. The effect isn't on play, it's actually when this card enters the field. So essentially, it works that way because it doesn't have to be from hand. It's also a restand wand. So that's essentially what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Thanks for watching.